Okay. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to my latest brainstorm. It is CAPMAX Retro, inspired by the many good folks out there who are doing retro-themed videos and podcasts and whatnot. I said, why not me too? We've got a slightly different cast this time. It's just three of us. It is, of course, myself, Steven, co-host Ali, and new to the channel is our co-host Nick. Now, we're actually in Nick's store. He runs a local used retro gaming store here in Victoria, BC. Want to tell us a bit about the store, first of all?
Yeah, for sure. This is New Age Shift. You can see in the background we got plenty of games. So we mostly concentrate on the more retro video games, so N64, Super Nintendo, and all that fun stuff. So definitely come in and check it out if you're into retro video games. And today we're going to be talking a bit about Konami classics.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like me, you've been wondering, what the hell, Konami? What are you doing to yourself these days? It's just not what it used to be. Oh, man, they're so good. Like, now, what do they have? It's like Metal Gear 5 and Yu-Gi-Oh! And...
Yeah, but the newer games aren't being too popular, that's for sure.
Oh, I just don't know.
Yeah. Back to going to arcade, Konami. Stick to arcade. Yeah.
That would be cool. Do they even make arcade games anymore?
Does anybody really make arcade games?
They do, but maybe in Japan.
Maybe on the Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's a Silent Hill arcade game.
I want to play that.
It's spooky, I'm sure.
There's a really good arcade in Vancouver somewhere. They've got a bunch of really cool new games.
CHQ in Metrotown?
Yeah, but I'm too scared to go in because it's just like a bunch of Asians just rocking it.
That's Vancouver right there.
I'm not gonna go in and have never played this game before and just look like a fool.
So they got a DDR mat there?
Oh, they got it all.
Made by Konami?
Yeah.
It's an impressive arcade. I call it the Last Bastion of the West Coast.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice, I'll have to check this place out.
I would go there all the time. Here in Victoria, we have maybe one arcade. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Class Konami, we'll start this off with Frogger. That came out in 1981. Frogger, they've tried to bring it back a few times, but it's never been quite what it was back in the day.
Yeah, actually.
Why bring it back?
They tried to add 3D elements to it and probably added some side quests and leveling systems in there for the frog. I am not quite sure.
No, it's not good. No. They try to make it like a mascot. No, you don't need that. It's fine. Frogger, original Frogger. That's good stuff.
It's great how it is on the arcade.
There's not a whole lot you can say really about your Frog. You're getting from one side of the road to the other, and there's cars and there's logs and flies and such. Moving down the list, next notable game I would mention is Yrus. Are either of you familiar with the Yrus?
Yrus.
Came out in 1983. It came out on the original Nintendo in 1988. It's kind of inspired by Tempest, where you're on a ship and you can fly around the screen.
Right.
And enemies are coming in
Right,
Kind of got that pseudo 3D. Very cool game. I used to play that on the Commodore 64 back in the day. Once again, showing my
Your age, yeah.
Great game, amazing music, surprisingly, for 1983.
Yrus, yeah, I'll have to try that one out personally. I think
I'm
I've
sure
seen
you
it.
have it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm pretty
cool.
sure it's a cheaper title.
Oh yeah.
Most retro video game stores, and I'm pretty sure we have it, but I didn't actually sit down and play it as a kid, so sorry.
I don't need to tell you there's so many games to catch
Yeah.
up on for an arguably unknown game, but it's pretty darn cool, I'll tell you that much. Russian Attack. That came out 85. It's kind of like a side-scrolling, kind of like Contra, which of course we will be mentioning pretty soon. Obviously came out before Contra. It's okay.
Okay, it came up before
It
Contra.
feels like something that would come out afterwards, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're like a guy, you got a knife, it's just this basic side scroll. You're like in Russia, there's like trucks carrying missiles.
Feels like they would have released Contra and then said, hey, that worked out really well, let's just do this weird little spin-off.
Yeah.
But, no, the other way around, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
I think the thing is, like, Russian Attack guy was more melee based, and Contra guys are completely
Shooting like crazy all over the place.
Big manly man with manly guns. Twin Beat came out 85 as well. That game we don't really know so well in North America. It's kind of a Japanese thing. It's kind of like a cutesy shoot 'em up game. It's cool though. There was a Twin Bee 3D Classics release on the 3DS. Did you bring your 3DS?
Okay.
Yeah, I got it in my purse.
Nice.
Street Pass. Next up, here's a big hitter, Gradius. $1985 in the arcade, 1986 on the NES. Oh, Gradius.
Gravies.
Where the hell is my Gradius, Konami? Now, if I can just jump ahead in time a bit, in the game Zone of the Enders 2, one of the mechs is actually based on the ship in Gradius, Vic Viper. That's the name of the
I
ship.
did not know that. I have played Zone of Enders, but definitely didn't.
I barely noticed it myself, but you see it because he comes in like complete jet flying, and he's got the little orbiting options behind him and
Okay.
everything. And then that's a boss fight, and the music in that is actually a remix of Gradius music.
Okay.
It's the hypest shit. It's so cool.
Gradius. Definitely a highly recommended game. Check it out if you haven't.
Game
You'll lose a
side-scrolling.
few hours.
Side-scrolling, shoot 'em up, very difficult.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Might need to replace a controller or two.
Kind of aggravating at the time. Once again, cool music.
Yeah.
All these games really have great music. You will shoot certain ships and you'll get power-ups, and the neat thing about this one is that you actually get to pick when and which power-ups you want to get. So you can stockpile them, but at the same time that adds an extra bit of risk, because if your ship gets blown up, then you'll lose all the power-ups. These are hardcore games for hardcore players.
Yeah.
The retro gamer.
Hardcore side scroller, shoot 'em up. Flyers.
Cool stuff.
Nice.
Shoot
Yeah.
the core, that was their motto.
Yeah.
Because the first boss, who kind of always comes back, and he's got this like little orb in the middle, so that's where you shoot. And he shoots lasers and you shoot pew
Shoot
pews.
the core.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Shoot
Jackal.
the core, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't know. Have you played Gravies?
No, I haven't played any of these games.
Well then,
I know.
we'll have to solve that.
Well, the problem is I've
Stay
tried.
here late. Console.
Oh.
I've tried playing games like these old games before, and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just compared to what I know now, there's no reason. There's
They're
no
too
nostalgia.
challenging?
There's no nostalgia
no
for me.
nostalgia.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, this
why
is
would I-
definitely nostalgia goggles right here.
yeah.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I play games for the story more than anything else, and those just don't really have much story going
It's
on.
true.
So RPG fan, I'm guessing. Maybe?
Yeah, more.
Well, you were mentioning a lot of Harvest Moon a moment ago.
We were having a collective conversation.
RPG and farmers. There we go.
Rune Factory 4 coming up pretty darn soon. If not already, I don't know when I'll have this edited and uploaded. I'm behind on the videos. Anyways,
This is reserved material.
well, Jackal came out. No, I'll probably just leave that in. It's good stuff. Jackal came out. I haven't even played Jackal. It's on the list, so it came out.
I haven't played it either, but I will sell it.
Yeah. I think you're in a Jeep or something. I think it might be overhead. Next game, though. Oh, man. Castlevania.
The good and the bad.
Now, in town, it
I'm
was
talking
actually...
about Dracula's Quest. Sorry.
I like that game.
You liked it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's arguably my favorite Castlevania of the three for the Nintendo. The second one, which it was kind of like, you know the term Metroidvania now? How it's all about, you're going back to areas that you're in before because now you have an extra item so you can get through a certain area.
I hate that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my least favorite.
Well, it was Dracula's Quest was the part where you had to go at one end of the level, crouch down for a certain amount of time until a tornado came, picked you up, and took you to the next level.
Which you wouldn't know because the translation was a bit rubbish.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing that you actually had to go stand in this corner of the wall that you know, there was...
I swear to God, they did that on purpose to sell Nintendo Power magazine.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is a pretty darn cool magazine, too.
It is.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually picking up for the first copy of that soon, so...
The Jumping Mario one?
Yeah, made it of clay and whatnot.
Yeah.
Cool.
The last issue had a cover similar to that one.
Yeah.
It was an homage. Man, Castlevania. So good.
Castlevania, yeah, there's a lot to say when it comes to Castlevania. I mean, it's a huge... it has a huge lineup in itself, right? 3 Nintendo releases. One Super Nintendo release only?
2.
2? Oh, yeah, that's right.
One real one, the one
Dracula X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Castlevania 4 and Dracula X. 4 was pretty good. I found it to be a bit too easy, surprisingly. People keep saying that Castlevania 4 is the best one. Bloodlines on the Genesis was superior to Super Castlevania 4, in my opinion.
Which you don't hear too often.
Yeah.
For Genesis.
I'll drop that.
Genesis versus Super Nintendo, I mean, sorry.
Now, we'll get to that, but there was actually a time when the Konami in Genesis was superior to Konami in Super Nintendo. But we'll get to that. So yeah, 3 games on the original Nintendo Castlevanias. They're all good. Like I said, a lot of people don't like 2. Great music. What a horrible night to have a curse. What a fun meme that is. Much like tonight, where it's all thundery, lightning-y. I was thinking, what a horrible night to make a video.
What a horrible night to have a curse. How often did that pop up? Was it set for, I think it was a 5-minute...
Almost constantly.
5-minute loop or something?
It's a game where they added, like, day and night.
Yeah, I do know. I tried to play it, and I was like, another...
Not to like other YouTubers, but AVGN. He does,
yeah, that was his first video.
Oh, was it? I didn't know it was his first video,
That's cool.
but AVGN, he does a video on...
complaining about Castlevania 2.
Yeah.
Before he was really anything.
I'm sorry, what did I say earlier? I think I meant to say Simon's Quest, but I said Dracula or something like that. Anyways.
That's fine. Third one, I never really played the third one. It had branching paths. It was more like the first one, where you didn't really have to go back a bunch of times. Probably for the best. Haven't played it though.
There wasn't any night and day, I'm pretty sure.
No. I remember there was a clock tower. Of course, got your Medusa heads going back and forth.
Oh, yeah. The Medusa
knocked into a
heads.
pit, insta rage. Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Classic memories.
Medusa heads, right? There. Butcher, yeah.
Because we are Canadian. Blades of Steel, 1987.
Face off.
Pretty darn good game.
Yeah, that one is a good hockey game. One-timers for the win. If you want to win a game, one-timer all the way. It's recently been going up in value, oddly enough. It used to be like a $2 cart, but lately I've seen people trying to sell it for like $10, $15, believe it or not. But
yeah,
$5 here.
It might have been here. I bought Tecmo Super Bowl for like $3, just because everyone keeps going on about that game.
Okay, yeah.
I was never into it. Like football in Canada, they've never really seen eye to eye. But I've heard good things about it. Whatever. Friends of the channel certainly know that I love to collect my video games.
Yeah, all sorts, right? The Konami for sports games, actually, most sports games aren't worth any money, but I'm sure we'll get into this later for their newer generation. This isn't so retro, but their Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah, we should have mentioned that's one of their one of their big current sellers.
Yeah, that's a big current seller out in the other markets, Europe and I don't know, Italy or wherever else they sell those games for soccer
Europe,
fans.
Japan.
But oddly enough, you know, at the beginning of the video, it was how Konami games are kind of holding their value a bit, and Pro Evolution Soccer is kind of an example of that. Pro Evolution Soccer, what is that? I actually got it somewhere over there. 2008 is worth about $40 by itself for the PlayStation 2, which is really, really odd for any kind of sports or soccer game or anything. So, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
As far as games holding their value, it's odd.
Yeah, spoiler alert, our next episode will be discussing classic sports games.
Oh, really? Okay.
Count me out of that one.
No, that's the discussion, is whether or not they're all just useless shelf-filling garbage, or if there are some gems to be.
Every hockey game out there, one-timer for the win.
Yeah.
Up
Classic
until
hockey.
now.
There's not that many classic hockey games, but I think they're all pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Oh, the next one, Contra. '87 in the arcades, 1988 for the original Nintendo. Like I said before, Contra, probably inspired by the Russian attack game, but like I said, this time you're a big manly man with no shirt. You're doing crazy flips, you're shooting guns, machine guns. You don't worry about ammo reloading. You just go.
I feel like Contra's so funny to me. I don't know why. Like, it's just
It's
all over the
cartoonish.
place. Yeah.
It is all over the place. It's crazy.
It rips off everything too. You're basically Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger running, destroying the aliens from the Alien and Aliens movie.
I have a love-hate relationship with Contra, I think. Love the game. Great game for a side-scroller action. But so many frustrating times as a kid. So many game overs.
I was playing it recently at home with the NES Advantage. That is the joystick.
Yeah.
And it kept going up by accident. And you know those 3D levels where you're shooting towards the screen? If you push up at any point, you just walk into electricity and you die.
Oh, nice.
So that sucked.
Man, good thing you weren't
Great
playing
game.
with the glove.
Yeah.
I wish. So bad.
It's so bad. It's
So
good.
Man, music was good. Wasn't as great. Not as good as Castlevania music, I would say, but you know,
Castlevania music is just so famous, though.
It is.
Like, even if somebody,
rightly so.
yeah, like most people like won't even know Castlevania. They'll be like, "Hey, I know this song." At one point, it's like, yeah.
Some weird techno dubstep remix.
Yeah,
Castlevania
exactly.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always one out there.
There's lots.
Thank you, YouTube. Metal Gear. I've never really been a big Metal Gear fan. 1987. Do you guys have any?
I'm really, really bad at sneaking. Any
Yeah.
sneaky games, I instantly die. So I just have always left Metal Gear.
Well, maybe you know. Actually, we can see it right there.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear. The front cover of one of the games was actually a replica of the front cover of a movie that came out, and I can't remember. Off the
It
top
looks
of my
like
head.
Terminator.
Yeah, I'd
Looks
like
like,
to say it's Terminator.
John Reese, whatever his name is. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Well, actually, maybe it is Terminator. You know, I'm not 100% sure. If you have comment section, maybe someone can
Oh, I
comment
see it.
below. But yeah, there was. It's basically a rip off of a movie poster that was coming out for a movie, and then they just kind of slapped that on their NES cartridge, changed it a bit, and
That's
there
funny.
you go. You got Metal Gear. I just can't remember that movie title, but those games were also ones that you break your controllers over because they were just really, really, really hard. You know,
Rage quit.
punishing. Yeah.
Well, you get the overhead camera, so you don't really need to worry about like the maps and where people are, because you can see everything all at once. But then they added the whole like the little radar thing, and it kind of tells you everything all at once. Kind of seems like it feels like that takes away from the whole I'm sneaking around, but I know where everything is, so no, it's just my opinion.
I think like the espionage part was probably pretty hard for the Nintendo to pull off.
Or that,
too.
that part in the PS1, you have to just mash the button because you're being tortured. That is torture. I hate
That is
button mashing
torture.
at any time.
Oh god. They wouldn't have liked Final Fantasy VIII then. The little summons there, you just had to, just button mash in order to make them stronger every single time. Oh, God. Yeah, but Metal Gear.
That was a good episode too, Final Fantasy.
You want to go into the Ultra at all? About Ultra, since that's, for Metal Gear Solid, they labeled it as Ultra. Want to go into a bit about why that is?